Since it appears that Democrats are not going to cave in and give Donald Trump the $5 billion that he wants for his border wall or border metal slats or border fence, whatever it is we're going to call it today, Donald Trump has repeatedly been floating the idea of declaring a national emergency and then building the border fence without approval from Congress. Now, unfortunately, I know there is some disagreement among legal scholars about whether or not he can do this. At the end of the day, he can do this. When the president declares a national emergency, there is a set amount of money that he is allowed to pull from to basically do whatever the hell he wants to do with. Money is set up through the Department of Defense, comes from our military budget, which you know is overblown and bloated. So he's got a lot of money sitting there that he can play with. All he has to do is declare a national emergency. Now, where the illegality of it may come in is, does this meet the criteria of actually being a national emergency? Obviously, it would not. But if Trump declares it, he would be able to, as he has said himself, dip into that pot of money and get that wall built very quickly. But there's another side of the story, and this is the side of the story that is not getting enough attention. And that is, most of that land along that southern border where this wall would be built is already owned by private individuals. But Trump has a way around that too. Because if he declares a national emergency, he can start using eminent domain to just take the people's land away from them so that he can build a wall. The national emergency, which you do not have to have a national emergency to claim eminent domain, but if he's able to successfully declare it a national emergency, that would make the eminent domain process go faster, give him fewer hurdles to overcome, and he could easily start taking these people's land over there in Texas and California. Isn't this exactly what conservatives were terrified Obama was going to do? He was going to come and take your personal property away from you. And here we have a president who has openly expressed his desire to do that. And you're just sitting back acting like, well, it's okay. He's the president. He's allowed to do it. Come, please take my land and build your vanity border wall along it with money that's supposed to be used to help people when things go sideways here in the United States. Because that's what that fund is. That's what that national emergency money is supposed to be used for. You know, when we get a hurricane that comes and destroys half of Florida, when we have massive wildfires out in California or Colorado, when we have floods along the eastern coast, where does the disaster money come from? Comes from that national emergency fund. So if Trump takes that fund money and goes and spends it on a wall, what's going to happen when the next natural disaster strikes? What's going to happen if we do find ourselves in a real national security emergency, but oops, he spent the money on his wall? This doesn't end well for anybody. This man is pissing all over the Constitution on a daily basis. He is literally doing all the things Republicans warned us for years that Obama was going to do to us, and yet they're completely silent about him. They knew it was a lie back then, and they refused to accept it as a reality today.